guys, I'm Laurie Vitale, and on this episode of Laurie in the Kitchen, I am answering a very popular question that's been coming from a lot of you recently, and that is whether or not I have ever done just a plain classic Thanksgiving stuffing here on Laurie in the Kitchen. And the answer is I haven't. I've done a lot of different variations of stuffing. I did a cornbread stuffing. I've done, peppers and onion stuffing, but I've never done just a plain classic one with no additions, like no other flavors, just a really good old-fashioned stuffing recipe. I haven't, but I figured today is the day. Joe's craving some stuffing. I love anything bread, carbs, you know that, so it fits my mood for today. And the ingredients you'll need are very basic ingredients you probably already have on hand. Starting with some bread cubes. These are just white bread cubes. These were fresh when I bought them, meaning they were not toasted or dried. What I did was I put them on a single layer on a baking sheet and popped them in a 275-degree oven for 45 minutes, and they completely dried out. And that's what you want. You can also use regular stale bread, and that works fine. I've got some chopped up celery and onion, some unsalted butter, poultry seasoning, salt and pepper, and some chicken stock. That is it. So good, but it's easy and simple. The oven's preheated at 375. It's easy and simple, but it's a classic. And if you're a newbie at cooking, if you're new at it, if you've never hosted a holiday get-together before, then I wanted to share this recipe with you because it really is foolproof, no fuss, no muss, just a good old classic. And now by classic, what I mean is there's no crazy flavors, like I mentioned. I'm going to get started in this big pan here. I'm going to add my butter. It looks like a lot of butter. It's about 1/3 of a cup, and you need it because this is going to, that buttery flavor with the chicken stock, it's going to be what gives your bread a lot of really good flavor. So I'm going to wait for that to melt, and then I'll add my veggies. That's just about all melted. So I'm going to add in my onion and my celery, and now I'm going to let this saute for a good about 5-7 minutes or until it starts to cook down a bit. And now for the bread, you can use like literally sliced sandwich bread, like white sandwich bread. Chop that up into like little bite-sized pieces, put it on a baking sheet, and pop it in a 275-degree oven until it's nice and dried out. Like I said, 45 minutes. You could use whole wheat if you want to. I prefer white bread in my dressing or my stuffing, whatever you call it, but the world is your pickle. You can use any kind you want. I do suggest that you stay away from like the pre-seasoned mixes simply because sometimes it can have too much salt, and I like to be able to add my own seasoning, which is just poultry seasoning, and my own salt and pepper. That way I can really I can just season it to perfection without having to worry about whether or not it's too salty and yada yada. So buy a plain, season it yourself. I'm going to baby season my onions. I'm going to give them just a pinch of salt because it does help. It helps them cook down a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on them. This is looking fantastic. Now I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to add my poultry seasoning. You don't have to add it to this. You can add it right to your bread cubes, but I break the rules all the time. Just what I do. Stir that in. You can instantly start to smell that fantastic aroma. I'm going to pop that right into my big bowl with my bread. Get every little bit out of there. Oops, I left some behind. Look at that. Set that over there. A good grinding of black pepper. You're not going to need to add any more salt. You added the salt to the onions, so that's fine. A good grinding of black pepper. And now my stock. Now, depending on how wet you like it, I'm going to start with half of this and then take it from there. Some people, believe it or not, put no stock in it at all. And you can do that. You can just keep it as is. Some people put like 4 cups, which I tend to think is a little bit much. My sweet spot is between 1.5 cups to 2 cups. It really depends. That's just what I prefer, but by all means, use as much or as little as you like. As you can see, I'm about 1 cup in, and I need a little bit more. It's a little bit dry. I can still feel that my bread is a little bit dry. And now the reason why it's so important that you don't add too much is because you don't want this, you don't want your bread to be swimming in your stock. You still want some texture. This is looking good. I think I'm gonna end up having to add like 1 3/4 cup. Look at that. Pop this into my casserole dish. Classic recipe calls for a classic glass pie dish or baking dish. Get that all even. I'm going to pop this into the oven at 375 for about half an hour, and when it's done, I'll show you what it looks like. My stuffing was in the oven for exactly 30 minutes, and you can see the top is a beautiful golden brown color, and it smells like Thanksgiving. I mean, it just does. I don't really eat stuffing any other time of year except for Thanksgiving, and that's how I like it. I don't like it to be, see that? I don't like it to be too soaked. I like it to be just crumbly. The top gets really delicious. Yeah, that's the stuffing I love. That's the kind of stuffing I was introduced to when I first moved to the United States. It smells like Thanksgiving. I love it. I love it. You know, when all else fails, you know you can count on the classics. That's why they're so important to have in your recipe box. I mean, I love my cornbread stuffing. I live for my sausage and pepper stuffing, but there's just something about the classic that just hits home every single time. If you're looking for a new or an old classic or whatever stuffing, I was going to say recipe, stuffing recipe, give this one a try. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the recipe. Let me know what kind of stuffing you love to make on the holiday season. I just love hearing your variations of things because it's kind of like we're one big family and we're just sharing recipes, because that's what this is all about. Consider yourself a part of the Vitale clan because you are the heartbeat of it all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.